Hi guys, is your spool dancing? Hi guys, it's Aish from Classicals. Welcome to another Tool Tuesday. So as you can see, when we work with these big cones on our sewing machines, which are slightly smaller, the capacity for that spool holder on your machine to hold a large cone is pretty much not there. I find that for most machines, when you have these medium-sized spools, this works. But when you run at a very high speed, it starts to make that rattling sound. And I don't know about you, I get so uncomfortable when I start to hear these kinds of noises when I'm sewing. So we thought that we will recommend a nice tool for everybody out there who likes to sew with bigger spools, medium-sized to large-sized cones, so that you can ensure that the threading on your sewing machine is still seamless. We all know, if you've been sewing for even a little bit, we all know how important it is for the threading on the top and the bottom to be so well done for consistent good stitches to come from your sewing machine. So when you're working with bigger cones, you can't just put it on the side of your machine. As you can see, it starts to dance. I know there are quite a few people who love do-it-yourself and they put it in a mug, and that kind of stops the dancing. But I also find that with some spools, that even stops the thread from channeling out smoothly. So the moment you have these restrictions or you have these obstructions, it's going to tamper with the top threading of your machine, and that's going to hamper your sewing results. And we also know this, that when we have difficult or inconsistent sewing results, we get quite frustrated and then we switch off the machine. And we're like, yeah, let's just do this another time. So let me introduce you to a really nice tool that we're featuring on this Tool Tuesday. All the links for this product is going to be available in the description box below. And you can buy it from our e-store, classicalsdubai.com, if you're living in the GCC or in the UAE. And if you're living international, not very close to where we are, I've even dropped down the Amazon affiliate link, so you can go ahead, click it, and directly get these shipped to your mailboxes. Let's go. All right, guys, so this is the product that I'm going to be introducing you today. It is the thread spool holder. You can see it's a pretty tall one. Fitting it in the frame is hard, but this is the one by Superior Threads, and we came across this product because we were selling Superior Threads in our store, and it was a very recommended accessory. Now, when I first saw this product, I thought it was only meant for the large cones. However, on exploring it and looking at all the different accessories that come with it, I realized you could use absolutely any size of spool. So it could be a small, fat spool. It could be a tall, like this is like a medium spool, but it's got like a narrow head. You could use a cone, and you can also see that you could even channel a bobbin thread through it. So today I'm going to show you how you can use these different sizes in the spool holder. And I think this is fabulous because when we are sewing, we might not be necessarily loyal to like one size or one brand of thread. We might be buying different colors across different brands, across different weights and different styles of thread. And it's not possible that your machine is going to be able to hold all the spools. But this guy is designed to hold absolutely any size of thread. So as I said, the golden rule is, and I mentioned this on the machine, and I will mention this in future videos as well, as long as you are channeling the thread properly and you're threading your machine well, it's most likely you're always going to get a good stitch from your sewing machine. So whether you know it or not, this is a tool that you need, and I highly recommend you check the links below. So just check the links below on the different areas through which you can actually buy this product and have it as part of your sewing stash. Now let me quickly show you how I sort of thread this, and the bobbin. Let's start with the bobbin since it's already there. It's going to be a bit tricky for me to fit everything in the camera only because this product is super tall. I'm going to do my best though. So this is the plastic notch that you get that is perfect for you to use on very, very small spools like the bobbins. Now I know a lot of you, if you're sewing, you might have wound different color threads on your bobbin, and sometimes you don't know what to do and you're sort of waiting for a project where you can use that colorful bobbin once again. But if you know that you could use it easily as top stitch, then you know, it becomes something that you probably would utilize faster than waiting for something where you want the bobbin to be a specific thread color, right? So I think that's a pretty smart way to actually utilize thread. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this, and if you look at the product, there are 3 holes from the base. This plastic part goes on the first hole. You don't screw it in, you just push it in. And then step 2 is you take the bobbin spool and then you put it in through there. All right, now step 3 is you got to make sure that the spool doesn't jump out. So they have provided this piece of felt. So I kind of in my head thought that, oh, if I lose this, all I have to do is get some felt and make it approximately the size of the bobbin, I guess, and just punch a hole through it. But of course, I'm going to try not to lose the one that comes with the product itself. Now I've got spare thread. Now I'm going to show you on a horizontal view and as to how you actually are going to thread the rest of it. And then understand that it doesn't matter whether you're doing a large cone or a medium spool or a bobbin. This is always going to be the last 2 steps. So you're going to pass the thread through the top hole. So this is a hole on the top. You pass it through there. All right, and once it's up here, and make sure that it's moving straight, like it's not getting caught anywhere else. All right, once it's up there, you have just got to pass the thread through this hole. It's very easy. You don't need to be using any sort of threading tool because it's a relatively nice big hole. So there we go. So I'm going to take the camera a little bit away so you guys can have a look at what I've done here. So as you can see, we've channeled it and it's coming through this hole over here. I am self-filming today, guys, so I apologize if I'm moving the camera a bit too much. But this is also a very tall product. But you can see as much as I'm pulling it, and I'm pulling it like pretty quickly right now, it's hardly moving. And that little sound is just the bobbin because it's metallic. It's making a noise against the plastic. So it's pretty sturdy. So I'm now going to show you the same thing with the medium spool and the large cone. Alright guys, now we're going to be focusing on threading medium-sized spools, such as these ones. So this one is from Orifo, and this one is from another brand. I'm not too specific on it, King Star, whatever. The point is that you're always going to get different shapes of spools. And what's really cool is that we've got 2 stoppers that are provided by the thread spool holder. One is going to go on the larger spools, which have a broader base, but they're medium-sized spools. They're not large spools, right? And then you've got spools like the Orifo, which are, of course, medium-sized spools, but they have a narrow top. So the stopper stops against that. So it's pretty versatile. And the good thing about this one is you've got this, and then if you've got even fatter bases, you can just flip it around. So it doesn't really matter. It's very versatile, as I've mentioned before. So you've got the spool holder here. So for this spool, you could, of course, do 2 ways. You could go vertical, where you screw it down this way. Maybe for the Orifil, I think it would work really well to do it on a vertical stance. You put it like this. And then you channelize the thread the same way, which is basically you put it through this hole and then we bring it out through that loop, right? I'm going to show you how that looks once I finish threading it. Put it through this hole, making sure it doesn't sort of cross over anything, and then we pass it through the big one. Notice how I'm going to pull it, like literally as quickly as I do pull it. See how unhinged that spool of thread is. Insane, right? I can use the same procedure for even a large cone. Same thing, and I'm going to show you the same thing right now. So guys, I have done the same thing. I've put the cone on that spool holder, pass the thread through this, and then pass it through that. And I'll see as I yank and I pull, literally does not move at all. At all. It's so noiseless. Okay, I'm going to show you the fatter medium-sized spool before we go back to the machine, and you can see how this kind of channeling kind of makes it like the most perfect experience when it comes to sewing with oddly shaped spools that don't fit on your sewing machine. So for this one, I'm going to unscrew it from the base And if you actually look at the product, there is a second hole from the bottom. I'm going to put this in over there. All right, and once it's tight and snug, I'm going to put this guy into it. All right, and because he's got like this fat base, I'm going to be using the fatter of the spool holders. Just going to squeeze and push it in. And perfect, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just channel this thread through this hole and to the top, and I'll show you what it looks like. Thread it all the way, and as I pull the thread, you can see it's moves pretty well, guys. So I hope I have you convinced. Now let's take these guys to the sewing machine and let's see how the stitching comes along. Look at the machine. I'm just putting the spool holder here, and I'm just going to thread the machine as I normally would, imagining that this is where I would usually put the spool, but now it's because it's on the side. I just go ahead and I pretend like, and I just channel it through the machine the same way that I would. As I now sew, you can just observe how that spool holder literally doesn't move, and the stitches come great, and the thread moves through the channel flawlessly. I mean, just look at that. No more dancing. Perfect channeling, and really, really, really good stitch quality. That's my stitch quality. It's pretty good. So yes, guys, if you have been struggling with these large spools, or you've been struggling on what to do with your bobbin thread, I think this thread stand holder by Superior Threads is brilliant. Don't forget to check out the links below to see where you can buy this from. No matter wherever you are in the world, we have a way to get this product to you. And if you enjoyed this Tool Tuesday video, and you generally enjoy the way we present all sorts of sewing tutorials to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and be a part of the Classic Quilts Dubai YouTube channel. My name is Aish. Oops, I think I would have totally hurt the mic there, right? My name is Aish, and thank you for watching another Tool Tuesday. Till the next one, keep sewing.